Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of In the Booth, where we interview machinima voice actors, fandubbers, abridgers, or anyone else from any online web series. I'm your host, JD Carr, and with me today is...
Do I say broken English or Carl G. Brooks? I just paused for a bit. I'm both those guys. I'm
Yeah.
I'm 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 cast as Carl G. Brooks mostly. Broken English is mostly the internet handle trade I wanted to do for the smaller productions. Just kind of, I don't know. It's been both a gift and a curse. You know, you're
Oh,
branding yourself out there with this is your name, this is what you're attached to. But it's kind of confusing at the same time because there's some productions sorry, some productions they'll prefer first they use your real name or they'll like just
use the
it looks it
username.
looks it looks it looks nicer, it looks more professional, just
Yeah.
nicely slated on there versus yeah, we're just a bunch of YouTubers who zook, there we go.
Just put your username on there, and that's it. Boop.
Basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, thanks again for taking the time to do this podcast, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
was it anyways? So, Carl, I
Yes.
guess my first question to you is, what inspired you to get into voice acting?
Really, it's something that came natural. It's growing up with my dad taking me and my brother to like Disney cartoons. I
Mm.
think the first thing we saw was Snow White at the infamous Ridgely Theater in Fort Worth. And back when it was showing theaters, now it's a historical site, but it was a theater, then it became a music complex. And yeah, now it's kind of hanging on to dear life because it's run through so many owners. But at the same time, the city can't destroy it because
Yeah.
it's now considered a landmark, part of Fort Worth's culture.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just watching these animated movies, and I would just always kind of, yeah, you want to retell the jokes, or at least you want to retell something that's funny. So it's just saying it, but you're saying it as that character.
Cool.
It's like I'm sorry, not my grand. My father actually had a way of storytelling, or at least getting me teased into watching his movies with, or getting me someone interested. So what he would do is you do these little bedtime stories of like little bits from like Young Frankenstein when they're revising Peter Boyle.
Oh.
He would do he would do like the third switch, the no the first, the second, not the third switch, and throw it I say, and go on a tickle fest. Um, but it really just all just came natural to me. For the longest time, it's like I had been honing in on this. I've been just being me for the longest time. It's like my calling's there, but all that was missing was just putting a microphone in front of my face. That was really it.
Ooh, nice. How'd you come across, I guess, machinima voice acting in general?
Well, it was back in 2003 that I first got started becoming a viewer of Rooster Teeth,
Ooh.
Red versus Blue, back when
Yes.
it was like back at the end of season two, and that I saw that the game Halo had that potential to be used as a filmmaking format. It just never occurred to me. It just really, and that became a huge influence. And so I had already been studying on filmmaking back then, and I took what I did know, looked at the game, played with the game, see what I could do, and just try to work my way within that. And it fell short a lot because I was like it's like when back then it was like you're trying to rig VCRs together, and you didn't have a VCR, like one's got a
Oh.
deadbolt. Yeah, they're antiques now. Come on. Anyway, uh but so it's just the story kept forming, and it's like I'm doing most of the talking, so it's I mean just uh, rambling in my head, like what I'm going to do, doing instructions, and then later as the years progressed, there were shows like Pre-Game Lobby and the Machinima Channel back when it was a more
Back when it was a
respectable,
good, yeah.
yeah, back when it was a respectable up and starting company, and I just took a lot of cues from that. that seeing that there was a community. And at the time, I had no interest in networking. It was just more my inspiration to get on that bandwagon. I had done back when Halo 3 was out, they had the theater tool, and it everything looked nice and pretty. But I wish I had kept my footage. It would have turned out super crappy, but it was my first attempt. And a lot of YouTubers were doing that back then. I wasn't following anyone except the makers behind Pregame Lobby. I forget their username. And uh, of course, Digital Fear,
Oh
John C.
yeah,
Graham. Yeah,
good guy,
because
good guy.
that was I was like, yeah, that was like just before RB and Chief. It was like back when the in the first original Deus Ex Machina.
Mm.
Good times, good times.
Yeah, it's a shame he canceled it.
Well, I mean, I understand his situation. He was building up to a really good conclusion and would have brought in a lot of effort and a lot of coordination, which back then you could get, but it wasn't always committal.
Yeah,
At least not like it is now. Now it's like a hot spot. You want a guy? I know a guy. Let's go to the forums.
to the forums. Blah 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 blah.
Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes word of mouth from there.
Hmm.
But getting into where I am now in machinima, it like I said, most of it just became second nature. So when I first made a makeshift demo, just little ramblings, little one-liners,
Mm.
uh, basically ramble into a microphone for 20 minutes and then chop it up into like under a minute or just over a minute,
Ooh, nice.
and plug that on an old microphone I had. Chopped it up, put it on the Rooster Teeth forum site for their filmmaking, and I got a few hits. And of course, you go through the lessons learned when you open yourself to that kind of availability.
Hmm.
You'll get a lot of sweet talkers. You'll get a lot of people with these well lubricated egos.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but throughout it all, you learn who your friends are,
Hmm.
and you know how you're coming up on top, and how you know you're really meeting with the right people, like real collaborators. And that's where I met Frank DeFries, or Frank, who also voices Brad on Outpost 86. And he and I just developed the early stages of what that show was going to be. And
Just want to put it
really,
out there.
I had no clue. The whole point was I wanted to have fun.
Just want to put it out there. I love your series that you two are doing. I love it, especially since it's like a Battlefield 3 machinima. And like how what you guys are doing with it.
Mm. Really, uh, I mean, back then there was a new cinematic tool that had come out for the Battle Network, or the Frostbite engine, I
Mm.
believe. Um, Using this tool, now people were actually able to make Battlefield machinimas. So there was a mini floodgate, not a big one or a broad one, but it's like the starter pack.
Mm.
But you're gonna get your art. It's no different than the Halo machinima community. It's you have these people who do this, you have this people who do these kind of work, you have these people who do these kind of work, and you have these people that are kind of each other's throats, but they're just kind of pushed to the side.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to embellish much. Anyway, damn it, dropping things. So, where that came from, well, I was just open to newer markets or newer canvases, if you will.
Ah.
Um, where that came from was no, that doesn't come from anywhere essential at all. No, now I'm just rambling. Wow, you're really letting me go.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay. No. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay. So, but yeah, he and we did like a few proto tests. Originally, it was going to be an entirely different story than it is now. but eventually, it's like I was looking forward to it. I had actually done all of my lines for like apparently 3 seasons total. But this is also his early writing work as well.
Oh wow.
It's about the same comedy style. It's just a little. It was a little point and shoot. There wasn't real any like you're inside. You're really into the shit, so to speak.
Hmm.
But it didn't really keep that buddy up because everybody's almost at each other's throats, much like season two. But spoilers. Anyway, um, but yeah, we just wanted to make a straight up buddy comedy from the get go. I didn't really know what I was in for. It's just okay. Your name's Marcus, so I just kind of joked that it wasn't Marcus Venus and just went as low as I could go. Now, I found some difficulties with this at first. In the first episode, it's not really broad, it's just really monotone and dark. Um, but how it evolved was when if you listen closely, yeah, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to listen closely. You can just listen. That eventually I break out of Marcus and my real voice pops in because I realize I have to start hitting those higher notes for that comedy effect. So I just had it for the first 5 episodes. I've tried to find this medium of what is the most flexible pitch I can get out of this voice. And episode 5, I have the monologue about the times about old school video games and the times when Marcus was a kid. It might as well be me. Fuck it. Yeah. But once we found that happy place for Marcus, it just really started to tell itself. And I can honestly say those sessions I had with Frank were probably the best of my life. I mean, I'm 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 learning to really get involved, really be just really immerse yourself. Not just about focusing on emotion or focusing ba, 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 ba. I think what I'm trying to say is how to I lost what I was gonna say. Oh my
That's
God.
okay. That's okay. We all tend to lose track of our thoughts.
I got it. I got it. I got it. Just point to be as natural as possible. Just try to. A lot of VAs, I'm sorry, probably not a lot, but a few I know, um, will look for certain motivation, like to the point where you're asking too much from me, man. Um, Case in point being like, what does my character look like? Or I don't know. It's like it's between uh no man, not making any offense here, but people who just have this idea of what voice acting is and just have that idea without actually putting in the experience. Now, I know some people that are super talented and mid-range experience, but actually working for somebody else on their production, well, it's like they know how to act to a point, but really studying people, it's like trying to say a line and deliver it, but not as I mean, you know what I mean, just not as you're reading it, but how it should be
Yeah.
openly spoken. And the thing is, what I do is, and I encourage this for everyone else, because when you're working on a show, a cartoon, you're not going to see the script beforehand. You're probably not going to, you're not even going to know before your audition, even if you get an audition.
Mm.
So you have to be as open and available to opportunity. Improv helps a lot with this. I honestly need more of it in my life. Um, it opens broader doors, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
Pat Fraley is a great example. He had, for his audition for Krang in the original TMNT,
Oh yes.
he had 2 minutes to come up with a similar voice like that he pulled off. And this was time he asked for. And they said, okay, you got 2 minutes. And he goes out the door. So he's just looking at the lines like, okay, so he's a blob. So he's a blob. If you look it up, it's so entertaining.
I will one of these days.
Um, but yeah, it's just you have to be on your toes. You can't pamper yourself. I mean, you can. I mean, obviously you can. It's like I need to take my time. Like you're suddenly an A-lister.
Hmm.
Or A-lister diva. That's what I mean. Anyway, um, I'm not much of a talker. Hey, or at least not this much. This is the most I've done all day.
That's okay.
Anywho, but it's really taking advantage of the situation I have while I'm at the same time giving out my chops. Someone needs a quick line. All right, done, done, done. It's literally like one line that's like 2 to 3 minutes work. That's also sending and giving the lines and sending the lines.
Ah.
So if people are out there auditioning people for like 1 or 2 lines and you give them a week deadline, bullshit.
I need this done by the end of the week, otherwise I'm gonna replace you. Bah, 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 bah.
I'll give you the night. I mean, I can understand if you're like, you're having a bad day, or again, this part of the situation that you can take advantage of because you're not in the industry, but you are aspiring yourself to make it to that level.
Mm.
Like if you actually put yourself on like on a marketplace, like on voices.com or what have you, and you give out you state that your turnaround is 24 hours and you take a day because you had to go to work, you had a fight with your girlfriend, you totally forgot about the lines, and then you go to sleep not thinking about, and then you have a pissed off client at you. You're like, rah, 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 who's going to go to somebody else because they can.
Yeah.
This is a massive market. It's been growing and growing and growing. Just more voiceovers, more app applications, more indie games, more just a more free flowing market of art that it's self-sustainable. You don't really need to like be famous or like go in there and get the anime project. You don't have to if
Just
you
need
don't
a
want.
network.
Yes, exactly. But um it's just like I said, being open and available to new ideas. Give it a shot. What's the worst that could happen? Either it can be something beautiful or it's going to destroy you. But you'd only be destroying yourself. But hey, if nothing happened of it, oh, so what? There's
Yeah.
something else right across the street. You just got to keep a forward motion.
Yeah. Was it speaking of doing script? I mean, was it doing lines? Do you prefer doing live action, like not live action, live voice direction, like there's someone in the call with you, or like just doing the lines by yourself? Like they just give you the script and you just do it how you think it should be done.
I go both ways about it. I mean, I encourage live calls. You get more life, especially if you're giving direction. I've had to give direction to people, and yeah, it works like a barometer of like how they say the line between my responses.
Mm.
Because it's like someone will say a line, I'm like, hmm. Then immediately I mean, sometimes, most of the times, they immediately know that was okay, but we can do better.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I try to like help them gauge emotionally where they should try new areas to attempt to get the right responses, especially for the project that they're working on. You're working on horror, yeah, you really got to put out some shrills. If you're working on a comedy, yeah, you really gotta liven yourself.
Yeah.
Um,
You're
it's
probably
just
like my first guest to say they actually do both because my first three guests, Fairfield, Brandy, and I think Daryl said that they prefer like not doing was it Skype calls with the director because I think like in their perspective it's better to have more freedom, but at the same time, yeah,
it's laid back. If you're not too picky about the voices, I mean, of course, you have to trust an actor to do the best job that they can with the information they have. That's the
Yeah.
way I've always approached anywhere I've had to do lines just on my own. It's just make it believable, make it give a variance, and uh, usually lots of outtakes. Lots of outtakes.
Which are fun to listen to.
Oh, I mean, a few of them have popped up. Only a handful.
Oh,
That's like the what was it? I've yet to see myself in a blooper reel. That's so far that's been very upsetting.
one of these days we'll find some footage of you
I
messing up
know.
lines.
I know recently with Cleverbox Pictures, they have a new machinima reboot called Alone, and I'm actually a number of voices
I was gonna
in
say,
it.
like, is that what engine are they using for the machinima?
Sims 4.
Ooh, Sims machinima.
Yeah, I once the time came where I've done enough Halo machinima, and everyone wants a soldier or some form of gruff exterior. I really needed to flex my dramatic muscle
Mm.
with soap operas, teeny, spirity soap operas. I love it. But yeah, I mean, there are some outtakes from my stuff on that show. I think more in the first episode. I haven't seen the second episode hasn't aired yet. It will. I don't know, but
Eventually.
yes. And one other spot was on Lambda Machinima's Atlas. At the very, very end of that video, I had this little ramble about machines and their uh, wanting needs to research. How do I color it? Their excrement maker. Anyway,
Oh.
I don't know. It's just like I said, having fun.
Yeah. Also, was it like from when you start till now? What would you say would be your favorite role or roles that you have done from then till
Well,
now? And yes,
okay.
I know like
Well,
all of the roles are like
I'm
your precious babies.
well, I'm not gonna. I won't say Marcus.
Okay, aside
Uh,
from Marcus, we're not gonna
yeah,
count Sub
I won't say that.
36.
That's too much of that's too much of a given.
Yeah,
Really, let's see. Hmm.
you have as many as you want.
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch. Trying to think. If I had to go, it'd be in the Wayback Machine. Like back when I was first starting. It's on It's Blackjack Media. It's a show called Two Tails, and I play. I think it was Andy. Andy, was it Andy? Yeah, it was Andy Shepard.
Hmm.
It's like it's basically, it's just, I think it was using Madden. It may have been another game, but yeah, it was a sports machinima, and no, we just kind of created this. It kind of lost control because it started to turn into this drama, uh, more about the drama than it was the game and the players. Because the guys that run these channels, they're looking to make themselves into sports commentators, and they're doing a damn good job. And Blackjack, he's doing great. He's got another thing with WWF right now, but I'm also doing something on that too. I forget the name of my character though. I don't know. It's he had like a handful of lines, and then I'm just waiting for the second script.
Cool.
But yeah, Andy Shepard was a trip. It was like one of those natural high school little jock. We're gonna toss the ball, roll around, going to state, get to be a meathead.
Oh, the jock.
Yep, and the girlfriend, and the fighting, and the awkward conversations later.
Yeah.
I met a lot of good people around that time. We're still friends. We still talk.
Woo.
So,
Hmm. What is it? Oh yeah.
you expected me something in Halo Machinima?
No, 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 no. I know you. I know you said that you're done with Halo Machinima, so I'm not gonna
Well,
go
no,
to
okay,
that
okay.
direction.
Let me clarify. I'm not accepting new roles, but any previous commitments I have, I am continuing and keeping. So I'm still, and just before I made this announcement, I'll be in the next episode of Reagan that's
Woo!
coming up. Still with Infinite Guardian, as far as they need be.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
As
need
far as
you.
you need a Dark One.
Were you the one that says I'm a people person?
I am a people person.
Yeah, that was you. Yeah, I knew it.
That's not. Oh god, that made him sound more like a hard-on grimace. Remember what was it? D Gamer. He was telling me he wants something more like it was like a. I want to say Goldar, but he gave me some Power Rangers monster reference.
Goldar. I would say Goldar.
Just loud and screaming. Okay, so I thought.
Yes, Your Highness.
Yes. I'll get the eggs. No, okay, now it's turning something else.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, actually, you know what? I do have one in the Halo community.
Ooh.
I totally blanked on it. I don't know why. But his name is Agent Michael Vaughn.
Is this from? Wait, let me try to remember. Is this from
Okay.
Nightmare Films?
Nope.
Is it from someone that I sort of know?
Probably not personally.
Well, sort of in the Halo community is what I meant.
Do you know Inebriated Ninja?
He sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember what he did.
They have a show called Weapons of War.
Yes, yes. There we go. Yes.
There you go. That's where Mike Vaughn is. They're currently working on the next episode. Apparently, they decided to. I don't know. It's weird. They decided on when I first signed up with them. They were one of the first Halos I signed up with, and originally it was like, okay, we're gonna have an episode every so many, and then we had some trouble with lines, and then he was going to school, and then he's still doing school and doing other short films, and he's a really occupied guy. Uh, but episode 8 is coming.
Eventually.
Michael Vaughn will return, and
Huzzah.
things will happen. Babies will be made. I hope. Legitimate babies.
Babies.
Babies! I think we can move forward.
Yeah. Who would you say would have been your favorite cast member to be casted alongside with in any type of Machinima production aside from Sector 86?
Sector 86?
No, was it
Outpost 86.
Outpost 86? Sorry, there's so many 86s.
Yeah, I know.
Out there. I'm like,
I saw that there was a Sector 86 too. Ethan, well, at least Ethan let me know.
yeah, I'm sorry about that.
And why are you apologizing? It's
'Cause,
complete coincidence.
Yeah, was it So yeah, who was your favorite cast member to be in? I mean, cast member, voice
Someone
actor
to be cast alongside
in any Machinima production aside from Outpost 86.
Okay, Sanzing Outpost.
Boom, 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 boom.
I know this is tough.
Boom, 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 boom.
Because there is someone I want to say, but let's see. Oh, actually, no, we were in other things. Her name is Piper Petrie.
She sounds familiar.
She's a very established voice actress. She's been doing my words. She's been doing a lot of work with the Newgrounds site and opening, and I believe she had a lot of effort into aiding the opening of the voice acting forum Newgrounds now has.
Oh wait, no, I remember Piper Peeper, right?
Piper
Sorry. Shit.
Piper Petrie.
She was on that. I came across her on Halo Party one by Flash Gets and Halo Problems by Mashed.
Yeah, she's done stuff like that. She's also done Red. Oh God, what's his name? Red Minus. It was like Hello Awkward. She was in that. The ones we worked on were by Hairhagen Tunes.
Ooh.
And he did. It was Spider-Man in the Kawaii World.
Oh man,
I was doing all these lines. She was. I forget her name because I never watched Inuyasha.
Some Canadian voice actress.
Fiber's not Canadian.
No, because you said she was in Inuyasha.
She's Organi.
She's Organi.
Oregon.
Oh, Oregon. Oh.
Yes. Well, that's her hometown anyway.
Okay. It was because you said Inuyasha voice actress.
But no, she's a charming young lady.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll come back eventually.
Okay.
Anyways. So was it Pirate Peeper or was one anyone else?
You keep saying Piper Peeper.
Ah! I'm so sorry.
You are not reading my lips, sir.
I can't see your lips.
Fair game. Moving on.
Anyone else?
I think the only other person I can think of, working alongside. Oh, no, wait, again, yes, I can. It's like certain people I want to mention, but it's like no, that just goes back to Outpost. No, Ripley Adams.
Ooh,
She has on Outpost. She's Major. I say Major Captain Reynolds.
ooh.
But she's also worked with me on the Z productions of Delinquent Pair. She plays. Oh God, what does she play?
Is she the boss lady or the mercenary
Yeah,
lady?
yeah. Her name escapes me at the
I'm
moment.
just let's just call her Red.
I am the worst boyfriend.
Let's just call her Red. On Delinquent Pair. Sorry, Zed. Let's just call her Red.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. But no, she's very very talented. She's based down in Austin.
Ooh,
She
nice.
mostly does improv stage. I kind of got the niche from her to do that. Just Austin has it's a more dominant improv community, very big theater community. So lots of there big lot of consistent.
There's lots of stuff going on down there.
Exactly, it's a bigger consistency. Your interactions are far more likely to be face to face than
Yeah.
anywhere else. Plus, they have more indie films going on down there. Dallas Fort Worth, they have indie films, but it's like
It's
we
meh.
got films.
Yeah.
I think all we have down up here is the studio of Los Colinas.
And Funimation, of course. Just that.
Yes, we have Funimation. Ooh.
Ooh. You should be watching. No. No.
See that they use that as post hypnotic suggestion.
Yeah, they do that.
And it gets you going, doesn't it?
It does.
Makes you
Speaking of
wanna-
which, with voice actors you work with, would there, if you ever got the chance, would you work with any who would you work that's in the professional voice acting field? It could be from any anime, cartoon, or online web series. Who would you want to work with?
Oh, this is a big list.
And you could pick multiple voice actors or actresses.
Oh, if I had to pick anybody, Frank Welker, hands down.
Frank Welker.
Frank Welker.
I was kind of expecting you to pick Troy Baker.
Troy, he's a new face to me, because I've heard his new Joker, and it's very very impressionable, since it isn't mostly an impression.
Or was it
But
was it Troy Baker or John DiMaggio or Steve Bloom at most?
oh no, those guys are on the list too. But like the number one guy, Frank. He's
Fred. I know. The only thing I've known him for is Fred, or he plays like these animal sounds. Or
Yeah,
animals.
but he was Fred,
Scooby.
Scooby. He was Megatron from the original Transformers.
Oh yes.
He was Doctor. I think he was Doctor Claw in Inspector Gadget. He was
He did all the
Isis the
80s
cat from
cartoons.
Batman. He
All the '80s cartoons back then.
80s cartoons, some 90s stuff. I know he was Curious George for the movie,
Oh yeah.
or did the voice. I mean, he's the kind of guy he'll go to a zoo just for research. Just like I want to look at an animal, just to get the right animal noise. And most of his lion noise is him like going into a trash can.
Yeah. He's really known out there. Keep forgetting, how old is he? Because I know he's getting old.
He is. Oh, he's got to be in his 60s, maybe 70s.
I would
About
say
now,
60s.
because he was working professionally back in the early to mid 60s.
Yeah.
When Scooby-Doo was first out.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely more roles that we're missing, but those are the prime ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, John DiMaggio's a good one. Good example. Love to hang out with him. Steve Blum, Crispin Freeman, Pat Fraley.
Keith Michael
Okay,
Richardson.
let's yeah. Oh, yes, we want Keith. We want Keith. We also want Tara Strong. We want
Of course, everyone.
yeah. What does it get the process? Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, yes.
Um,
Great Delisle.
oh my God, you'll have to help me out with that one.
She was it. She plays Daphne, like recently, like in the recent Scooby Doo.
Oh, I haven't seen the recent ones.
What she's done like numerous cartoons and video games and animated films. Like, there's just so much to keep track.
Yeah.
Um,
Who else?
uh,
I know of the VAs I have met. I've met Kylie Bear. I've met um, oh, what's her name?
Give me a hint. Give me a hint. What show or show?
Ghost in the Shell. She was the major.
Oh, Mary Elizabeth
Mary
McGlynn.
Elizabeth McGlynn. Yes, she signed my season 2
Oh, nice,
CD
nice,
set.
nice, nice.
Um, who else was there? Had a brief interaction with Masako X.
Moscow. Oh, you got to meet Moscow. Wow. Well,
But
sort of. Not
it's
not
okay,
like not
okay,
meet him.
okay,
Meet him.
okay. Here's how I'll tell you guys this story. This is actually very super embarrassing.
Oh,
Uh,
can't be that embarrassing.
well, give me a minute. Okay, so I'm at this last summer's ACON, and there's a bunch of the Team 4 Star guys there. Little Kariba was there, Moscow X, along with Team 4 Star, or
Yeah.
the more of the ones that did show up. I think it was
Yeah.
Taka and
Lenny.
no, Lenny was
Kaiser?
not there. Kaiser was there. General Ivan was there too.
What
Of
about
course,
Megami?
Ivan and Kaiser, they're based in Dallas now.
Oh yeah.
So anytime I see on Twitter, it's like, hey, there was an earthquake. I hear from everybody else, yeah, there was an earthquake in Dallas. That's how I know. So, anyway, so at this time, I was working night shift, graveyard,
All right.
like we in the way at AM hours. So when you say to yourself, I'm gonna take a nap and then I'm gonna pack up the little bit of my stuff I have left and then get on out and go to the con. So I'm in bed and I can't go to sleep because I have pre-con hypeness. So
Of
I can't
course,
sleep.
everyone can't go to sleep when they're hyped up for something. That don't worry.
Yeah, no, that's everywhere. Especially when the sun's out and they're
Yeah.
doing yard work and so I had literally no sleep. I get in my car, I drive out to the hotel, and we spend the first day I find my friends and we room, and I try to sleep again that night. It didn't happen, or at least didn't happen as well as planned, but I got a power nap out of it, so I had a little bit of energy. So that morning, I see little Karibo at his table, and I meet him. Nice man, very nice man.
Mm.
Uh, handed my card. I probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know. It was my first year at a con, just idolizing myself as a voice actor, and I found out the thing is that you shouldn't do is idolize yourself as a voice actor. It
Oh.
was like, let's talk about my work. Yeah, just draw that ego,
Oh.
because this is what I do. That's why, they don't want to hear it anymore. You just be a person. That's all I
Yeah.
can recommend. Learn from me. But no,
Remember,
anyway.
kids.
But no, I gave him a heads up warning, like, my head's a little bzzz right now, and he's like, oh no, that's fine, that's fine. Pretty sure he just wants everything to move along.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was my conversation started? I was looking at what he had to sell at his table, and I got this little Yu-Gi-Oh keychain that says "Oh the homo." So the first question I asked him is, "So how much for all the homo?" He says $8. But anyway. um, but met him. It went fairly well. That's fairly well. We go around the dealer's room a bit more, and then I go to my car, drop off a few things. And I'm immersing myself into the Texas heat,
Oh yeah.
and then coming back into the hotel, and I run into Masako, and I haven't fully cooled down yet from being outside. So when you've lost a lot of sleep and you've
It's hot
just
outside.
drastically changed temperature climates, your brain does this weird peak motion
Oh no.
where it just kind of trails off.
Oh no.
So What I thought was going to be a nice exchange
Oh no.
turned out to be, oh hi, how are you? I have a show. And and by the time I realize what's going on, it's like abandoned ship, shut it down, shut it down. And very nice man, just very it's like, oh no, no, that's okay. I'm pretty sure he thought I was on drugs, but no, no, that's not the case. And so I hightail it into the bathroom just to try to check myself, and not much a few feet further was Kaiser Neko
Oh
at
no.
full kilt at the urinal stall. Given my current spree, I wasn't gonna push my luck.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah, so but that was done. It's done.
Oh man. Well, wasn't I'm glad you got to meet some members of the Team 4-Star crew in Lil Karibo, man. I wish I was in your shoes. I would be like, ah. I probably won't. Well, I would probably be worse than you because I'll probably like be all fanboyish, like, ah, it's you guys, ah.
Good.
I watch your shows. Nah. Well, sort of like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. I mean, doing this long enough, or as long as I have, it's the lessons are coming, just probably not as timely as I'd like them to.
Mm.
But they happen, and you'll learn from them.
Ah man. One of these days we should meet up at a con.
Yeah, you're down in
I live in deep
super
south,
south,
super
deep
south
south.
Texas, like 10 minutes from the border, or no,
Yeah.
20 minutes from the border.
Wow.
You gotta get me out of here, man. The weather, you gotta get me out of here. The weather down here is so bipolar.
Dude, what do you think up here is doing? I mean, you're looking at like what, a cool like 40 degrees right now. There's like an ice storm going outside of mine
I'm a Chicago native. Don't worry, I know what happens
when it snows.
when
Yeah,
it
idiots
snows.
come out.
Yeah. Back on track.
It's
So
29 degrees. Everyone's freaking out.
nice, So do you plan on doing voice acting as like professional, or more of a hobby still, or maybe a little bit of both as the
Well,
years go by?
it's really helped me with my depression for the most part.
Uh.
I want, I do it because I have fun doing it. And that I have this creative outlet and this, I'm not, well, I'll call it a unique sense. As much dull time as it can possibly see at times, um, it's worth doing. It's worth doing for the rest of my life. Just I love sound. It's the way it moves, vibrates, hits your ear.
Mm.
It's it's the heart of it all.
Was it? Have you seen these? Was it? You ever watched any of these voice acting documentaries? Like, I know that voice.
Yeah, that's DiMaggio's movie. He
And what
produced that.
else?
There I have Adventures in Voice
There
Acting,
we go. That was the other one. That was the other one.
but I haven't watched it yet.
Ah, you should watch
So
it.
far it's been one of those things I've come across and accidentally stepped on, and the DVD is fine, but the
Okay,
case
good.
is just kind of lost.
Okay, good. As long as you don't break the disc.
There's another documentary on Netflix called In a World, and it's a picture of a microphone and somebody saying, and there's the title In a World.
Oh, okay.
I think it's about um what is the last name of that family?
Give me a hint.
Dom
Dom.
Lepetamine? No, it's not Lepetamine.
Don Lepetamy.
No, 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 that's not it.
Okay.
I don't know where that name came from, honestly.
Anyways, back to the thing.
Anyways, like Dom, In a World. That guy.
Oh, that guy. That guy that does the voice.
Yeah, that is no longer there. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's the daughter. I'm sorry, the movie revolves around I think it's about his daughter.
Oh, okay.
I just forget. I don't know. I just having a blank spot. It happens. Blank spots happen.
Yeah.
It's like I'm constantly in my own editor bay inside my head. So when the wrong thing comes out, it's out there, and I can't go back and like snip it out, but I try to in whatever way I can.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. That's my life.
Hmm.
Always an under edit.
Was it do you plan on doing voice acting work for anything besides machinimas, like like some
Yes,
animations,
I've done
fan
animation.
dubs,
I've done
bridge?
animations and I've done games.
Ooh.
Maybe not fan dubs. I mean, it's good practice into dubbing, but I've also worked with Hagen Tunes and Phantom Link off Newgrounds, and both of them uh, do dubbing to English from Spanish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's hella fun. It's not Japanese, but hey, I'll take it.
Mash the lip flaps, mash the lip flaps.
Actually, believe it or not, I haven't actually matched Blip Flap at all. I've watched it once. I get a good feel of what they want and how they want to deliver it, and I try to recreate that just with my own voice.
Mm.
So for me, it's easy.
What is it? Speaking of fan dub, what are your I guess like what are your opinions or thoughts on about like fan dubbing when it comes to like I guess anime or any type of show?
It's good practice. It gets you involved. It gets you involved with the show you already love, and it gives you the opportunity to see what you can do about improving matching flip, matching lip flap, and if you want to work on the translation yourself as well, if you don't like what Funimation or Gene Yon, rest in peace,
Yeah.
whoever originally did that dubbing.
Was it yeah, it is good practice, but there comes a time where like yeah, respect what they do. This is their lifestyle.
Well, also think about it. I mean, it's a group of fans.
That's true. That's true.
For the most part. I mean, not only just to get experience, but they also just want to have fun.
That too. That too. I just think was in my opinion, I think there's been a recent influx of people doing anime fan dubs, like in my opinion, because I'm actually well, not
Well,
actually friends with these
since
guys, but like I have their contacts because I like to cast them and stuff.
yeah, well, since Abridged is
No, Bridge I like
uh,
because they know
yeah,
what to
uh,
do.
well, I mean, you say Abridged and you imagine every single one of them know what to do. The ones everyone knows of, they know what to do.
Yeah.
It's the lesser knowns that are um, they're making an attempt,
Yeah.
and it can go one or two ways, and that really depends on your audience
Yeah.
and that they understand your jokes and that they're just you're sending information that people are receiving and it tickles their nerve cells in their brains.
I remember Daniel Hodge. You know Daniel Hodge, right?
Yeah, I know Daniel.
Was it? I remember in I forgot what interview it was, but I think he said that one time he was playing Alucard in like the original Hellsing anime, not the Hellsing Ultimate. They were actually doing a British
Yeah,
series.
they were doing. Yeah, they
But
did.
then was it got so much negativity because they thought they were ripping out Team Four Star, so they
They
had to take
came
it
out
down.
around the same time.
Yeah, they came out
So
around
when
the same
people were
time.
looking up Hellsinger Bridge, that popped up, and they're like, "No, this is busted," because
Team
they're
Four
not
Star was the one that did this, not you guys.
basically.
Yeah. Although I wish is that still up? Because I would definitely love how he did his
I
Alucard.
If it is still up, it's probably got the comments disabled,
Yeah, most likely.
or if they're lucky, it hasn't gotten any. It hasn't been bombed or
Yeah,
with hate mail. But
most
I
likely.
don't know. It's just things like that that make it an unfair industry because you're reliant on the masses to not all appreciate your work, but to give it uh, a simple nod. Like there was some earlier work I did back when I was doing filmmaking on video,
Mm.
and I've had comments where people have said, I really wanted to hate this, but you did a good job.
I don't hate you. I just hate the movie. But you did a good job. Something like that.
Yeah.
What is it? I'm trying to remember. Think. See, people. This is the fourth time I'm saying this. Keep notes right next to you. Unlike me, I don't have any notes right next to me. I've been just going off of this. What is it? Trying to remember. Oh yeah. So, I guess what inspires you, like, I guess to improve your craft? Like, what do you do just to improve your voice acting craft?
Well, really, it just lately it's been admittedly I've been a little lazy the last couple months. Ever since I found out about my depression,
Oh.
it's kind of nailed me down. Actually, it was before I even hurt. I like got word. I even tickle I may have had it because at the time I didn't realize I did.
Mm.
Um, I won't get too far into that,
All
but
right.
uh, going through that, I kid. Um, but no, it just kind of made me just a little lazy, and I started neglecting just simple practices, simple warm up techniques, and getting myself back into the game recently has been actually very challenging, and I need that. You need that challenge to get your
Mm.
head straight and get the right bearing. Like, where are you really headed?
All
I
right.
mean, that partially that's what led to the decision that I would opt out of the newer Halo machinimas and just try to uh, not spam myself out there as much as I have because it'd become more about frequency than about quality,
Yeah.
and that's where I started to lose myself.
Uh,
And now I'm writing and working more closely with Hitpan. We got exciting new ideas, and Unreal just became free, I heard, and I've been poking at my buddy about that, and we'll see what happens.
Yay!
Yeah.
So, do you have now that we're what is it? Let me check. Oh, wow, we're already past like 50 minutes. Do you have any tips for anyone that's aspiring to be a voice actor or actress, or that's still trying to be amateur voice actor or actress? You have any tips or advice?
The best advice I can give anyone that wants to approach this industry, do it because you love it. Because if you have any idea or any expectation of what you would receive, just, I mean, out of a single audition, you have to be realistically with yourself. Give yourself a goal. Give yourself a momentum. It doesn't have to be every single one you want to, but do a little bit of everything. Just make yourself open.
Mm.
And the more opportunity comes, the right ones will fall into place.
Yeah. Wise
Trust.
words.
Well, the overall,
That too. That too. Yeah.
yeah,
The
just
overall message,
trust yourself.
and be confident.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks again for being on this podcast, Carl.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And this concludes this episode of In the Booth. So join us next week where I'm going to be interviewing Alex or Angel on My Shoulder. So, night, guys. Take it easy.